Hello and welcome to the latest Greater Birmingham Chambers of Commerce Q&A. And today I'm delighted to be joined by the CEO of Millennium Point, Abbie Vlahakis. Abbie, hi.
Hi, nice to see you.
Yeah, great to see you as well. Thanks for joining us. So we all know Millennium Point as the fantastic, versatile event space over on the east side of the city, home to think tank, museum, a sort of a real leader and driver in the region on the whole STEM agenda. And then in the start of this year, you've added another string to your bow. And right at the start of January were the first mass vaccination centre here in the West Midlands for obviously dealing with the COVID pandemic. So I mean, Abbie, just tell us a little bit about how that all came about, where Millennium Point was chosen to be one of the first sort of dozen, I think, in the whole country, wasn't it?
Yeah, we were one of the first 7. So I think, at that point, the NHS were going out looking for suitable venues for the vaccination hubs to get more and more people through. And we were approached, and I think it was great because we were a building that had lots of space that could be used. You could almost come in immediately and just set up. We'd spent a lot of time in the spring and summer making sure that we were COVID safe and having everything in that we needed to make sure that anyone who came in, whether they were visitors or tenants, was safe with the cleaning. We put lots of things in place. And in terms of the team that we have here, the operations team are really specialised in what they do and are used to doing big events. So when they were choosing who to go with first, I think we were a natural fit because they could literally walk in, set up. They had the team on hand to help them. There was lots of things that they really had to think about, like carpet. They can't have carpets on floors because of cleaning, and I think some of the venues that they looked at had carpet, so they would have to put boarding across the floor so things that Millennium Point had were easy for them to just walk straight in and set up. Lots of access. We're centrally located in terms of we've got the train stations nearby, bus. Lots of people live in the city centre, so they can walk to us. And we had car parking with the Millennium Point car parking. But lots of people don't realise that that's actually owned by Birmingham City Council. And they were amazing working with us. If you think of all the great things that have come out of us working as a mass vaccination centre, it's the partnerships that have evolved and really appreciating that we've all come together, Birmingham City Council, the NHS, Millennium Point, to really make this happen. And Birmingham City Council have given all staff free parking, and all customers, as they're called, who come and have their vaccination, free parking, so that it's not a hindrance to them. They can come in, get their jab, and go. So it worked really well. I think we ticked a lot of boxes for them to just set up.
Did they find you, as it were, or was there a process where you were able to sort of end of last year, knowing that the vaccine or vaccines were coming, did you sort of bid in, or was it a case of Millennium Point being identified?
So we were identified. So I think they went out to all the big venues, so the sporting venues, all the usual conference centres. And I think maybe years ago Millennium Point wouldn't have featured there, but I think all the last few years we've worked really hard to build our events and our conferencing centre and use the building in lots of different ways, and that's testament to the team that I have here, really. So we did feature up there along with the big conference centres and the big sporting venues as possible and potential venues.
And as you say, when you then dig in and see sort of all those component parts that you mentioned, it becomes more and more obvious. So what was your reaction when the call first came in, or the email, and was it one of those? Must have been a bit of a head spinner, or did you sort of immediately feel, wow, what an opportunity to play a role in this sort of this communal effort?
I felt proud, felt privileged, felt honoured that we'd even been shortlisted, and it just felt like we have to do it. It wasn't even a question. And I think probably like lots of businesses over the last year, you go through this process of trying to make sure your business is surviving, and you're getting everyone sorted, looking to the future, and then you go through that period where you think, I just wish we could do something to get us out of here. How do we help? How do we get, when you look at some other businesses that are just, especially hospitality and events businesses, that are really, really struggling, and you think, I just want to play a part in this. And this just felt like the natural thing to do, because if we can get, we've got the space, we can get up to 2,500 people a day, is how in 12-hour periods each day through, we can get this country back on track. And it just felt right. And I think being a charity as well that supports science, technology, engineering, the whole STEM agenda and the STEM sector, it just fitted naturally. Because one of the things that came out, and I know we've discussed this before, is that the whole pandemic has highlighted to me that the STEM sector, so all of those industries, science, technology, engineering, has kept this country and the world really safe. It's kept us alive with the vaccines and all of the drugs that they've used, and it's kept us connected. Where would we be without Zoom and Microsoft Teams and all of that, allowing us to work from home? What would that situation have been if we didn't have this?
And the speed of the vaccine development. I know, so it's a global effort. So much so has originated here. It's a lovely link, isn't it? And I guess in time to come, when we look back, the fact that Millennium Point, as you say, which and again was a Millennium project, so always had that civic nature with the science right at its heart. Played the role. It almost feels written in the stars, doesn't it, Abbie?
It does, because I think people don't realise we are a public building. We might be a landlord to, our flagship tenants, and we have our event space, but this building's here to generate funds that go back into the public, and it's a building so it felt the natural thing to do was the building is working again to save and help the public. It was a natural fit, really.
And how long did it all take then from the initial sort of contact to, and how difficult was it to sort of go, right, we want to do it? Obviously, you're assessed, I assume, and to then opening your doors early January once the vaccine was ready to go.
It was actually really quickly.
I mean, everything's running.
Because it wasn't a case of them being really able to plan. It was like, right, the vaccine's been approved, or it's going to be approved. They then went out. It was a very quick process for them. And their team is absolutely fantastic team. They work so incredibly hard, and it was very much, I think probably from discussions to opening were less than 2 months. It was that, but I think what helped Millennium Point as well is that we are a team that's small enough and flexible enough to make decisions quite quickly. We didn't need to go through lots of layers to make those decisions, and because there was lots of things to go into it, infrastructure that needed to be in place to bring, originally potentially we were going to have like the big freezers, the fridges for the original vaccine. So it was lots of things that we had to think about and get in place. So we had to make decisions quite quickly, but we were the team, Millennium Point team, we worked 7 days a week, sometimes through the night, to answer all of their questions, just to make sure they felt comfortable. It was a really thorough, vigorous process.
Back to everyone pulling together, isn't it? And I mean, I've seen pictures and video. I mean, how different does it feel now when you're sort of in or looking around? Does it feel strange? Or you said that sense of pride. I really understand, but is it completely transformed for now, or is it very much utilizing the space, and it's brilliant space that you've got quite sympathetically?
No, it's all very nicely contained in certain areas of the building. It's, do you know, when I walked in that first day, when it opened, and seeing the people coming through, I felt real privileged to be able to share that moment with them.
Yeah.
It was really emotional, actually, and it does look like a field hospital, I have to say. And then when I think that was the enormity. It hit me was, oh wow, this is a national emergency. This is the biggest immunisation programme this country's ever seen, and this is serious, and it's happening here, and they mean business. And it really highlighted that to me. But to, you know, obviously it was open to the over 80s first, and I have to say they came en masse. There was nothing stopping them coming, whatever disability they had. They were coming through that door with their families, but some of them on their own had got the taxi, and it was just amazing that they had just said, I'm going for my vaccine, I'm going to get there however. And some of them saying, you know, I haven't been out, this is my first time out since March last year, and saying that they were looking forward to being able to sleep better at night and being able to hug their grandchildren. The stories were amazing, but there was no complaints, they were just happy. They were just delighted to have had their vaccination. I felt really quite a privilege, really, to be able to sit and watch this happening and unfolding. And I can
imagine. And you know, like the logistics then, it's all worked pretty smoothly? I mean, if people are, you know, they get the note to come and get their vaccine at Millennium Point, I mean, practically what are the best ways to do that and to get there? And what have you sort of learned? Is it, you know, people are, as you say, driving and park off Jenner's Road, or taxis, or there's loads of ways of getting to Millennium Point, aren't there?
Yeah, there's loads of ways. And I think for a lot of people, the thought of coming into Birmingham city centre was quite a scary prospect. And but actually the feedback we've had once we're here is how easy the process has been. So, you know, I talk about partners, partnering with Birmingham City Council, but they've been fantastic. You know, their highways team came out immediately to make sure all of the signage is there from the Aston Expressway, guiding people in. They've got people on their NCP car park, guiding them in, telling them which level. So, you know, if you've got a disability, level 2, you can walk straight in. Otherwise, you go round to the front and there's porters everywhere. Right. There's lots of, that's the other people that I've not mentioned actually, are the huge amount of volunteers that are here through St John's Ambulance. Yeah. They're here, you know, it's not, they're doing it out of their own time. Lots of them are people who've been furloughed from their main jobs and are saying this just makes us feel really proud to be doing something. And they're here guiding these people through the whole process. And the feedback we're getting from patients and their families is how easy the whole process was. And they were feeling quite scared and daunted about coming into the city centre, but actually it run really smoothly. And how long does it take, Abbie, from when you you cross the threshold to when you leave with an armful of the vaccine? Well, it depends. So obviously it's appointment only for here and for most of the vaccination hubs. So, you know, everyone's got a set time. So some people will, you know, some hours will be busier than others in terms of what appointments they've chosen. But I would say if it's a quieter hour, you're in and out within 10 minutes.
Wow.
It's really quickly. Maximum, I think somebody said the whole process was an hour. I was speaking to someone last week and they said that by the time they picked up their dad, had the vaccine, was back home, it took an hour and 15 minutes, and that was traveling in, getting the injection and coming. And
it goes without saying, doesn't it? I mean, obviously, you know, we'd both you know, collectively encourage anyone or everyone to get the vaccine, and when you can, when it's, you know, we're going through the different sort of tiers right now, but I think having the logistics running so smoothly, and, you know, you only gets better is so important. I was going to ask as well, so you mentioned you can sort of see about 2,000 to 2,500 people a day. It's operating 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. I mean, how long do you expect to be operating as a sort of mass vaccination centre? Is there a fixed time right now? And I know there's lots of variable factors and people will need a second dose, etc. But what's the time frame right now?
So it's again, like you say, it all depends on how this rolls out, and obviously new vaccination hubs are coming up in the city centre as well to spread the load. But when we initially went into this, it was 6 months.
Right.
But that's negotiable in terms of if it feels like everyone's been done, and then they can go back to, I guess, the GPs or etc. I guess with this, because it's and I think this is something that lots of people don't forget really, it's the biggest vaccination program this country has ever done. So they've not experienced this before. So we're all in a bit of a world of the unknown, of new territory, but everyone's working incredibly hard to get everyone done as soon as they can, really. So
and I suppose from your point of view as CEO, and you know, you've got the gratification of playing a part in this vaccination program, as you say, and making a difference, and helping the country to sort of get back to a position where we can reopen and return to normal life. I mean, how do you also then sort of think about, you know, the core business, and say keeping that going? But I guess events will come back once everyone's vaccinated. But, you know, because Millennium Point does so much as well. I mean, I know you've got the scholarship sort of program sort of live at the moment. Is there much of the pre-COVID day job that you're still sort of doing?
So the trust is still very much active. That's active regardless of what's going on. So the scholarship's going on at the moment, so that closes in 2 weeks' time, and that's really important it's really important to us throughout this, is that I think one of the things the pandemic has highlighted is there's more need for charities in this country now, and unfortunately charities have been hit as well. So it was important to us to keep going and make sure we're doing our day job as well. So the scholarship will still go on, and the small grants probably more than ever are important to people, because it's helping support things that they haven't been able to fund. But day job still going on, and we're looking forward to the day when we can reopen again as an event space. That is our ultimate goal.
And that's where again, at least you're able to feel like every single day you're helping take another step.
And you know, we see this as, especially as other venues are opening, we see this as we go through, we'll bring, you know, as everyone gets vaccinated, the vaccination centre will scale down. And then we, you know, potentially then can reopen our other areas.
To getting hopefully,
hopefully they'll perfectly line up.
I'm sure, without a doubt, Abbie. But and just to dwell on the scholarship, because it's an amazing offer, isn't it? This is where Millennium Point and the Trust sort of fully fund an undergraduate degree, so that 3 or 4 years, isn't it, for one lucky individual with BCU.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So this is our 7th year.
Yeah.
And this is really important to us because, you know, and I think, as I mentioned earlier, COVID has highlighted the real importance of STEM. So if we can support more children going into that, and we don't want these children to have, where finance, I guess, is a barrier to them.
Yeah.
So we've had some amazing applications over the years, and all of the people who have gone through to win and have all their tuition fees paid for the 3 years all have a real goal in life to make a difference. So part of the scholarship is for them to tell us, you know, if your degree that you want to do, in whether it's mechanical engineering, civil engineering, music technology, we've had film technology, what are you going to use your degree for to make a difference in the Midlands? And honestly, we should be really proud of the young people that we have here in the Midlands, because they are amazing, the things that they want to do, and they're genuine because they come from their life experience, what they've experienced to date. They really want to take their studies and make a difference, and for us to be able to support them through and take away that financial barrier and worry, that's something that
it's just a great opportunity. And say, you know, with fellow patrons and big civic leaders as well, BCU, it's a great opportunity. What we'll do, if people are watching, we'll include a link where you can find out more about the scholarship and how to apply, you know, around the video. I think the closing date's end of Feb, isn't it? So if you are watching this and want to find out more, then don't delay, jump on now. But Abbie, look, I mean, it's brilliant what you're doing. And so Millennium Point's, you know, it's such a part of the fabric of the city now, and East Side so exciting with, you know, the Curzon Street station developing, and you know, all around there really, and seeing just how you know, sort of Millennium Point's right at the heart of that, and as you said, how it's evolved and adapted in recent years to be a really cool and flexible event space. It's great to learn a little bit more about how you've sort of used that experience and flexed again to play a role in the whole vaccination rollout. And you know, you mentioned being proud, and I think, you know, sort of speak on behalf of everyone, I think we felt really proud that you know, when we saw Millennium Point come up as the West Midlands, the first mass vaccination centre, it was you know, it felt very natural, it felt right, and it's just good to know that you've got, you know, yourself and the team who are sort of tackling this in such a passionate way. But on behalf of everyone, thank you.
Thank you. And that, you know, I want to thank everyone who supported us to get here, because, you know, and it's the old cliche, it takes a lot more than one person or one organization to make something like this happen. And I'm just really thankful to everyone who supported us to make this a reality, because it's really important. It's really important now more than ever. So so Millennium Point plays another part, really.
Important part in the history of the city, the region, and the country. But
it's a very special building, I have to say. It's a very special building. It always seems to come out and support things that surprises me every day. It's great, and we will continue to evolve and flex and do whatever we can.
Great. Well, Abbie, look, thank you for joining us. Good luck for the rest of the rollout over the coming months. And like you say, let's hope we're in a position before too long where you know, everyone who needs to be vaccinated is vaccinated, and we can get back to normal life. Abbie, thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much.